So what's up everybody, my name is Amshongosas and today I'm just going to put you through the ABC of smudge painting. I mean like from beginner to advanced. So if it's your first time of doing this, I'm sure you get the hang of it by the end of the video. Make sure you don't go anywhere. I'm gonna see you in a jiffy. Okay, so basically this is our normal picture. I got this picture from Twitter. Like I said in my last video, you should get clean images from Twitter. It will help what anything you do come out very well and come out very nice. Well, this is a celebrity. Her name is Temi. Actually, she's the daughter of a billionaire, my secret crush. So I'm just going to start by cutting out the picture from the background. Well, it might just be a long tutorial video, but it's just to break down the various different steps. And I'm sure when you get there, you should know why this video was long. And I'll try to cut out the places that to fast forward some places. So I think you're just gonna get the hang of it. I've done one before. You can click up right now and see the video. It's been a while ago. That was like the first time I ever used Premiere Pro to edit it, so I think this one should come out better. Oh, then I remembered something. One of the greatest tips is to change your image size. Now your image size, this is 72 resolution, the DPI, so I can change. I'm supposed to change to 300. Now this is because small generally works better on 300, so let's say 3100, 150. That this should do it, and I'll press OK. Now I might have to start cutting the backgrounds all over again because it's going to just change the image size. Now some different tips you want to know is when you are doing oil paint, you can also check my video on oil paint. And when you are doing oil paint on, I don't know what it's called, oil paint. But when you're doing oil paint, right, you want to leave the resolution at 72. Now this is because with a lower pixel, lower resolution, Photoshop is going to look at this picture and be like, oh, it's going to make a sleek image. So I'm just going to basically trim it out with the pen tool, and that's what I'm just basically doing. It's like an elementary stage for anybody that's used Photoshop. So if you're a beginner, you should learn how to use the pen tool. I would have used the quick selection, but it doesn't come out neat like the normal tool. And how I zoom in is Control Space and click. Well, I'm actually an old Photoshop user, so I think you should bear with me. Some people just pinch on their system mouse and they zoom in, but I think now you use Control Space and click. To go back is Control Alternate. When you press Alternate, it has a minus sign, and then you click it back to go back. So you might want to do that. There are a few shortcuts. Now when you don't get some of the shortcuts right or some of the things right, just don't go so hard on yourself. You can just check out what you normally do, and you can just check out Google, and I'm sure it will be very handy. So I'm going to fast forward this video to where I'm done cutting out all the background, and I'll meet you in a few seconds. Yeah, so I'm just going to play one music. Just make sure you nod your head and see what I'm doing, and don't go anywhere. So the next thing I'm going to do is to cut out the different components of the body. Well, cutting out it has turned out to be one of the most stressful parts of the whole smudge painting, because you have to cut out almost every layer of the body. Yeah, so sometimes you're like, oh my god, this is too much, but it ensures you have a very neat work. So that's why we do these things. It's not because we just want to cut out everything. So I'm going to cut out this part of the head right here, and I'll press Ctrl Enter like I said, and press Ctrl J to duplicate it. Now with Ctrl, and I'll click this thumbnail, you would see you see the matching hands around it. It means I've selected this part. If I click control and I click this place, you see that it has clicked on the full image. On select is control D. So I'm just going to come here and duplicate this as well. Choose the hair that I've selected before and then come to this layer and press backspace or delete. Now if you notice something, it has taken the head away from that. I'll deselect it and then come here, and then you see that the shirt was chosen. So that being done, the next thing I want to do is to sharpen this image. So I should have done it before now, but I don't think now it's a bad time. So I'm going to duplicate the head, Ctrl J. I'll come here to linear light, then I'll come here, order, and go to high pass. Then I can increase it to however I want. Now the aim is to make it so sharp because we're going to be smudging, and when you smudge it looks a little blurry, so we want to make it so sharp so that it doesn't come out really bad. Do you understand? So I'll come to the shirt and do virtually the same thing. Now I hope you don't get bored in the video. I'm just trying to break it down, and if you have a question, please don't forget to leave it in the comment section, and I'm sure it is going to be very nice to always have questions to attend to. Now this is what we have now. Pretty image already, and I think it's really awesome. Now I just don't want to waste much time. I'm supposed to take out the eyes, and I want to do an oil paint on the eyebrow and the hair. Now because our hands are really not machines, so I think oil paint, doing it using an oil paint feature of Photoshop will make it a lot easier and a lot neater. So that's why I use that. So I'm just going to cut out the eyebrow and cut it out the same way I did the others, and here too I'll cut out this and cut it out, and I'll press Ctrl J as well. Then I'm going to merge these two and name it brow. Then I'm just going to cut out the hair. Now the main aim of cutting out all these things is because smudging with your hands, smudging is just basically using a brush and using a particular brush on the smudge tool and just working on the body, so our hands are limited to a certain extent, except you are really a pro, or your hands are maybe have computer hands, I don't know. But if not that, I think oil paint does a lot. So I'm just gonna name this too. Okay, so oil paint doesn't work on CC. I'm actually on CC 17. It doesn't work here, so I'm going to go to Photoshop CS6, and I would just advise for you to have both. I think working on CC is easier for me. On CS6 I use my oil paint, so I'm just going to go to CS6, and I'm going to meet you in a jiffy. Okay, so this is Photoshop CS6. One of the issues I have about CS6 is that it crashes. Okay, so I'm just going to select the hair, and for just a little more detail, I'm just going to put the highlight linear light and go over to high pass just to make it sharper. Oh, this is too much, so I'm just going to reduce it a little bit. I want it to be really sharp, and so that oil paints can see all the details. And since it's a computer preset, we need the computer preset to do all the things we want it to do and still have all our details intact, right? So that's why we do what we do. So, but make sure you duplicate before you high pass. Now that being said, I'm just going to go over to, I'll choose this part I want to work on. I'll go to filter, I'll go to oil paint. Now with the oil paint, it's actually very nice, a very nice feature on Photoshop that gives you a lot of control over many things, and it just eases your work. Especially for smudge, like some people argue that smudge, I always say it in most of my tutorials, some people argue that smudge is not real art. Well, I think that's true, but it just helps you enhance what you do, and it's really nice to do, so now this is what we have. I can just press OK. The aim is just to have something really sleek and something nice, nothing really coarse, just to give it a sleek. And you need to know CSS crashes, like I said before. Now this is how it was before, this is how it is now. We're going to blend the hair into the body, but I think this is not bad, and I'm just gonna choose the brow. Come here to oil paint still. Now I'm just gonna zoom in. Now when you're doing the brow, you want to keep the cleanliness low, because most brows are not that clean. Not like they're not that clean. It's not look very realistic. And I want to reduce the shine a little bit so it will blend into the body. The shine just makes it harsh, the lighting harsh. So I'm just gonna do this, and let me see, I think we should have a decent. Okay, so this is decent enough, and for the eyes, that's the final one. I'm going to do the same thing, but then for these eyes, I'm just going to make sure I take so much care not to take out the details. I think this is not bad. I'm just going to reduce the cleanness a little bit. This is okay, and I'll press okay. Now it gives us this nice smooth line, because I'm going to smoothen these different components into the main body. But for now, this is nice. I'm going to press Ctrl S, and sorry I'm taking you everywhere. So I think it's time to go back to CC17. Well, I prefer using CC, not just 17. I prefer using any CC to CS6 because the workflow is easier there. And then some people might just oil paint the shirt. I'm just gonna try it out so you see. But personally, I don't like oil painting the shirt. But I'm just gonna do that so that you see what people do. But personally, I think the work should do. We should put in the work and have something really nice done. Instead of oil painting the shirt, we should really put in the work. But this is not going to be bad because it's a high res picture, so it's really going to even help ease our stress. But personally, I don't really encourage oil painting the shirt because it comes out fake and the whole thing comes out awkward. So I'm just going to press save, and I'll go back to CC17. So okay, so we are in CC17, and this is the stage 3. Remember the first stage was to cut out from the background and increase the highlight. The second stage was to oil paint and to cut out the different components, and this is the third stage, smudging. So the first thing I'm going to do is to pick out all these different components: the brow, the hair, the eyes, and this. I'm just going to press Ctrl Alternate E to merge everything to become one. Now you see, for example, I pick up a brush and you just smudge it here. You see that they are one. I'm gonna duplicate this and press. When I'm pressing alternate, I'll come to the top layer here and behave like I'm coming down a little bit, and you see this clip too is called clipping mask, and I'll clip it, and it shows that everything I do, they're going to be on top of this. So if I clip, if I'm smudging outside here, let me just make it really harsh. Whatever I do, it's confined to this space. It's confined to the space I'm working on, so I'm just going to smudge. And I have a full tutorial on how to smudge, the right way to smudge. So I think you might want to check it out in case you want to go into in-depth detail. And I'll just tell you, you need to be so patient about it. It's not what you just wake up and just start doing like you're a pro. No, I really think most of all these things, they generally take time. There's nothing you want to do that you really cannot do. Just need the time. So I'm just going to be smudging. I'm going to be smudging in the axis. And now the brush is 30, and this tutorial is going to be awfully long if I smudge everything from beginning to end without fast forwarding some parts. If you're going to be like, come on, why would I want a 50-minute tutorial? But it's really important. So what I'm going to do right now is to show you how I'm doing it. I can just zoom in a little bit. Remember, I told you how to zoom. So I'm just gonna, the edges of these places, I'm gonna blur it out. And if you have more questions before you rush into my DM, I think you should probably just check out the the previous video I've done before. I'm just gonna smudge and fast forward. So don't go anywhere. We are in this together, so just stay tuned, and I'll meet you in a jiffy. Now I know there are a few questions running through your mind. That's why I had to unspin it so that I can tell you a few things. First of all, I know this picture might be a little bit neater and easier to use. So you're going to be asking yourself, what if I get a picture from a client that is not so sharp? Yes, that's why I said it's not really art. Yeah, it's like somewhat limited to the quality of picture you get, but still, it's worth giving a try. And this brush I use, I had to virtually download a lot of brushes, like 300 or 400 brushes. I searched for it for years, and I can't remember how I got it. I think it was from a particular video, and then so unlike my previous video where I tried to share the link and the link was not available, is available for that my video. But what I'm going to do right now is to I'm going to upload it to my Google Drive, and you all can download it from there. That's the least thing I can do to encourage your creativity. So you can as well just download the brush from there and not go through all the stress I went through. I went through like a lot of stress. So, and the next thing I want to point out is if you want to really get clear pictures, or maybe you're working on a celebrity picture or whatever, I think Twitter, like I said, Twitter has a way of giving you some very nice pictures. So you might want to check them out. So if you notice the way I'm smudging to a particular axis. I'm not smudging very fast, like I'm struggling to go out from somewhere. No, I'm taking my time out to make sure the contour of the face, the her shape, the shape of the lip, and the face, I just keep them intact, because a little distortion in the lip or whatever can ruin everything, can ruin the person's looks so much that you'll be like, wow, these little things. You might want to keep all these things intact. And I'm not sure you should lash out on yourself, not a bit. You shouldn't lash out on yourself, because I've worked on this thing for a long time. So if you see my things maybe slicker or whatever, it's not like I'm better. I just have put in more time to getting it done. So don't go, no, don't go hard on yourself. Just keep doing it. Do the first one. Okay, I'll tell you this. I'll tell you what one of my teachers taught me. I'm actually learning 3D modeling, and he told me, if you do these things if you do it 10 times and you don't get a good result, then stop it. It means if you do it for 10 times, you're supposed to get a very nice result. So you're supposed to start seeing a lot of progress. So that's, and I think I have a long way to go, so I'm just going to fast forward this still so it doesn't turn to a 9-hour tutorial video and you're like, I'm struggle sass. Okay, so I'm just going to work on the shirt too. Remember, I'm going to duplicate it, and I'll use clipping mask. I'm just going to name this shirt and come here and name it shirt 2. Naming it is a very good practice to do. So remember, we did this oil pen, so we have these little lines here. Now this is how it was with the oil pen, but it's like this with oil pens. But notwithstanding, we can as well just smudge it out. So I'm just gonna make it smooth. It's pretty much the basic thing. It's really basic because it's a plain shirt. Now you're going to ask a question: what if the shirt was not plain? Well, if the shirt is not plain, you can, this is what some people do. This is not what I do anyway, but you can just oil paint it and keep details and use shadows and highlight and burn or whatever to clean it up. But this is what I do. If I notice the shirt has patterns, or the shirt actually does have patterns, I smudge out the whole pattern and make it a plain surface, and I add my own patterns. I enforce so much force on what I want to do. Since I'm not a control freak in real life, I can control I can exert all my control on Photoshop. So I take out the whole patterns on the shirt, like literally take out the whole patterns on the shirt and give it the pattern I want. So I think you might want to try that out. You can check out my Instagram page at Amstrongosas to see some of the nice jobs you think it might be nice that I've done. So I think I should probably be posting my before and after. Then you can definitely post pictures and tag me at Amstrongosas. And I think when I see these things, I'm supposed to post them on my story. And I would not mind seeing what you have done. I would definitely love it. You can just post it and with the hashtag create with Armstrong, and I should see it and then tag me. I'm preserving the lines that came with the shirt. Now it's going to make it easier than just smudging anyhow and then having a deformed cloth or something like that. So we need to round it up in a bit. So I'm just gonna fast forward until I'm done with almost everything. Step 4. The step 4 is going to be putting colors on top of it. So I'm just going to create a new layer and clip it, of course, and go to this eyes, for example, select it with the pen tool. Remember I said I talked about the efficacy of the pen, so I'm just going to select it and come over here, and I want to give every place the color I want. Now this is a little secret, don't tell anybody. When you give it the colors you want, you take it away from the normal human color, and just putting those colors makes it art. It looks like art. It deceives the eye into thinking now the human body has. Okay, before I continue my story, I'm just going to select color here, and you see the eyes and it has color. Now like I said, the human body has many places that blood flows under the skin, so there are a lot of things that comes to the eyes, a lot more that we can take in. So I don't know if that was right, but I just know putting colors are going to make it look like art. So I'm just going to select this, and now the corner of the eyes has a little reddish thing, so I'm just going to put it here and put this here. I can take off this white place and check out what I've done to see how it blends to the original picture. Now the next thing I want to choose is the mouth, and I'll choose the same color. I'm just going to name here eye color and name here mouth color. So the mouth color, I'm just going to choose all these places. Remember, you can take as much time to smudge it out and to make it really slick, clean and nice, to get what you want. So with this, I'm just going to choose the lips, and I think I have a full video on the different things you should do or you can do. I think I have a full video on adding colors. So I'm just gonna use the picker tool. Then this is on brush. With the alternate, the eye picker drop has come out, eye drop or whatever. I'm just gonna pick a color I think is nice, and okay, it's hidden, so I'm just gonna on it and use this color. But I'm not feeling this color, so I'm just gonna choose one of all these colors here that is less saturated, something like this. Then I'll pick a color here, then paint over these places that are a little reddish from the picture. Like here, I'm just going to use the main picture as a reference to paint it out, and I'm just going to pick a more saturated color to give her this glossy, beautiful girl look. I told you she's my crush, yeah? Did I tell you? Please don't tell her. My celebrity crush. I don't know if I'm going to get to see anytime soon. So this is it, and I can just pick another one here and this, just to this how it wears. But I have a little controversy, and that is this place. I'm gonna make this brush 90. I want to make here really dark, so this is it. This should do it. This how it was before, now this how it is now. Yes, I know it looks red, a lot more red than it was before. So what should I do right now? I'm going to pick the next color, and the next color is going to be for the face. I'm going to pick a color that should suit the face, and this I don't like something that's too saturated, so this should not be bad. Remember, the way I'm doing this, the way I'm changing the colors, don't crucify me. That is what somebody complained about, is alternate and backspace. That's what I did. Alternate and backspace. I'll show you again. Go back and I'll press alternate and backspace. When I've chosen the color, alternate and backspace changes it. Then I'll come to the attributes and choose color. Now, this is good, but I don't like it, so I'm just gonna desaturate it a little bit. Now this is good too. Nope. This is nice. This is good. So this is nice, now it looks like a cartoon already. If you're not satisfied, you can just tweak it however you want, but I don't spend too much time here because I work on it later. So I'm gonna come to this place, the shirt, and I'm gonna give her a shirt color so I have to make it uniform as well. Since the face is uniform and I want to make this uniform, so you'll notice, if you have so much sensitivity for colors, you notice that this part has gone up and it's a different color altogether right now. So this is where we are now. The hair and everything are the same color. Remember, we cut out the hair before, so we're just gonna go back to where the hair is. Now this is the hair. I'm gonna select it here and go to the skin on top of the main. This is skin layer, skin color, sorry. Now on top of this place, I'm going to create one and name this hair color, and I'm just going to choose how the color was before, and backspace. I'll come here to color. Well, this doesn't look bad. I think this is nice, so I'm just going to choose the one. So this is nice. Then I'm going to use the eraser tool to remove the edges. So I'm just going to make it 50. 50 is not bad. So eraser tool. I'll come here to just remove these edges so I just get to blend into. Well, for the beginning part, I can use maybe 80 so that the edges just get all blotted out, if that's the word to use. I don't know. I really don't know how to spell so much in primary school, so bear with me. So I'm just going to reduce the strength to maybe 30 and work on this. And now the next thing I want to do is to come to this place or these places. Remember, we had the hair like that, something like this. So this was how the hair was. These places here are faded, so I'm just going to take off the blue there so that it works still. It looks faded that way too. I hope the video is not boring and long, and I hope you are really getting to learn something. And yeah, this should be it. We don't want it to be 100% and defeat the purpose of looking like an art. When you see a color that's really harsh, maybe a black color that's really harsh, you should take it down, so that it gets to blend into the main picture. Well, this is good. And for the eyebrow too, I'm just going to select it here, and remember we did something like that before, so I'm going to choose the eyebrow here, use the same color we used. Come here, eyebrow color, and come to layer attribute and choose color. I'll deselect it, use my eraser tool. I'm just gonna clean it up still. Now I'm just gonna choose not the eye color, eyebrow. Yeah, so I'm gonna just delete this here. Remember the edges, the way to do it is maybe 90 so that it gets really blotted out. I've said blotted out again, but blotted out is correct. I think it's really correct anyway. So besides, if you have not followed me on Instagram, you should go check out my page on Instagram, and don't forget to leave a like on this video if you have gotten to this stage of the video. If you're not watching this video on YouTube, right, if you got it from a friend or you got it from anywhere, don't forget to go back on YouTube and leave a like and leave a comment and subscribe, because it's going to be like you saying thank you, and it's going to really go somewhere. So I'd appreciate that if you can pause this video right now and go do the right stuff. Well, I'm just gonna put for the eyes too. I think this is taking so much time already, but well, it's what we do to get really something really nice done. So just gonna deselect and clean as well. So I'm just gonna fast forward it a little bit and okay, so we have blended the whole colors. Now this is really nice. Now I'm just gonna show you. This was what we came up with. Now this is it. This little cartoonish look. Now the next thing I want to do is to duplicate this again, because I'm going to be doing the highlights and mid-tones and shadows to give it this little pop-up. It's my little trick. People ask me what is the extra thing I do. I think this is the extra thing I do. So I'm just gonna the bond tool, and I'm just gonna bond it out these places. I want to give it a little contrast, but I want it to look the contrast to look artistic, like we are she's an actual, it was actually painted. So you see I'm using the contrast of 20 here, 20. So I can press 2 on the keyboard to get something nice, and then I can as well change the eyes and stuff like that, but I'm not going to be doing that in this video because I think the eyes are nice already. She has some charming eyes. So there are little parts of the body that are really darker than the normal parts. So the top lip is one of them. Under the nose, just give it this little contrast. And when you give it this little contrast, it comes out and it looks beautiful. So I'm going to give this little contrast, and you see it doesn't look like I've done much, but take this off and see this now. So it's already looking charming. Now one other thing I need to do on top of this skin layer, I'm going to create one here and come here and create soft light. And in this soft light, I'm going to add those little things that make the skin really look really nice. Now I'm going to choose the brush tool because that's what I'm going to apply it on, and then I'm going to put a soft light on the ear. Now the reason I'm putting a soft light on the ear is because the ear has this part that looks like blood is running through it. So I'm just going to put soft light here and on the nose. Yes, so I can just choose a stronger color and do that as well. Just choose a very weak, maybe 10% and stuff. Now what it does is going to make it look very beautiful. See, different now. So just tweak it down a little bit so to get to blend into the image, and then I have this. Now without wasting too much time, I'm just gonna add bond some part of the face or some part of the body to make it really nice. Remember the layer I'm burning is this new layer. I don't know why it was spelled as bro. It's actually supposed to be called the skin, maybe because I meshed everything. So you should definitely try that out to see what something nice you can do, and you can add more contrast to your work. The hair, you can add a lot more contrast so that it looks realistic. Like I can add this here or this ones to make it look like the hair or has this definite look. So you can do that, and I'm just going to fast forward a little bit. Yeah, I know you don't want me to fast forward. For some people want me to fast forward, but some don't. But notwithstanding, I'm just going to fast forward a little bit, and so you just see the place that add contrast. It's not going to be so fast, but you see it and you enjoy the light music, and I guess I'll see you in a jiffy. So I'm just going to put, now it's time to add highlights. This is the highlight here, and what the highlight does is to make it some parts brighter than some parts. So I'm going to use the mid-tones first, just a little bit of highlight. So highlight here, the cheek, where that's where light falls on, the ear, on the top of the head, especially for ladies that have big forehead, but she doesn't. So big forehead here, and this place. And I just don't want it to be too much. Highlight is like the icing on the cake. So then this, I'm going to choose this highlight. Mid-tone is for the normal part of the face, and then this highlight, this is the little things that just makes the whole thing nice and makes it pop up. So I'm going to add a highlight here, side of the nose here, and just add this highlight here. This. Just drop this little. Come down here. I can just zoom in to make sure it's nice. You can use the pen tool. Now this one trick I learned to use the pen tool to create this slick line on the face. So highlight. I press H, enter. You know. So this is what we have now. See, very subtle and very nice and very beautiful. So I can also just do it on the under of her lip, but I don't want it to be too much, so I can just press 1. So you see, give her this nice subtle look, and I can just pick the not the mid tone, the highlight now on this place. Pick the highlight and choose here. Just make this place very bright. Now it's art, and in as much as it's not really art, so I think you should learn about how light falls on the face, the human face. It's going to help to understanding a lot of things and to giving you the realistic art or whatever, smudge painting. So I'm just gonna do this here, and I'm just gonna make sure I smudge this out. I'll put the highlight and smudge it out. Put highlight, and the highlight should be 10 maybe. That is 10 is this is not bad. So I'm just gonna do this here and here like this. So this is nice. Come to the top of the head here and do this. But then this eyebrow, I really don't like the way it turned out, so I'm just gonna erase some parts. This blackish part, I want it to blend into the main skin, so I'm just gonna choose, and this is what we'll have now. Something like this. This is what we had before when it was flat, and this is what we have now. You see, everything just added up and give it this little pop, and it's looking like a very beautiful image. She's actually a very beautiful person already, so by giving her this little extra hinge, that'll make her look very beautiful. So it's art anyway. So in as much as I've been clamoring on the fact that it's not art, you need many artistic skills, a lot of artistic skills to really pull through in these places. So I can use shadows. Remember shadows? There's highlight to make a place look really bright. There's mid-tones and there's shadows. Now the highlights. Now for the shadows, this is what I'm working. That's what I'm working on to give this hair a little definiteness here, and to make her look really nice and beautiful. So the next thing I want to do is to click on the shirt here, and the shirt I'm going to do the same thing, highlight, midtones and shadows. Don't just follow my shirt, work on your shirt the way you want, and you can just watch it. I'm going to fast forward the video a little bit, and I'll meet you in a jiffy as well. Okay, so I've just basically worked on the shirt. I don't want to go into too much details on the shirt because it's going to waste so much of our time, but I think this is nice already. You can just keep doing it and keep working on it till you get something really subtle and beautiful done. So lastly, I'm going to add a little color variation. So I'm going to come on top of this place and go to color balance. I'm going to clip it so it affects only the face, and then tweak the colors to what I want to see. This is one little touch I do, and people are like, wow, how did that come out? Well, I'm giving you my secrets now for free. So this is it. You can tweak it to the green part, this green part, because it makes it look golden, and add a little bluish in the midtones and the highlights. You can just tweak it to however you think is nice. You don't have to do what I'm doing or what I did. You can just tweak it. Now this is how it was before, this how it is now. And shadows too. You can make the shadows. I like making my shadows cool, so I'm gonna leave it as a cool shadow. So this how it was before, now this how it is now. So for the shirt too, I'm gonna add something like that in the color balance. So I want a nice color, something like this. It's not gonna be bad. So I think I like this. I'm just gonna leave it at this. And for a background, well, I have a video on how to add backgrounds, but I'm just not gonna bore you with that. I'm just gonna go straight to adding a background. So I'm gonna import a background from my gallery into Photoshop, and I'm using a Jiffy. I'm just gonna show you how I add my background still, and I'll take this here and I'll add it at the back. Let me just see how it goes. First of all, before I know the next thing to do, so this is how the picture is already. I'm gonna just tweak it. I want to just give it a feel, my own feel. So, and it's art, right? Not aside smudge painting, the graphic design is art generally. So you want to weigh your options. You don't want to be confined, to a particular space. So you can try out different things. You can try the plain background. You can try out anything you want to try out and see how it comes out. You should not be confined to what people think or how people really do their stuff. It should be you and how you do your stuff. So this is one. I'm just gonna leave this and check that other background as well before I wrap up this video. And I hope you've liked the YouTube video. I hope you left a comment. Just tell me where you think is nice, and I think it's going to go a long way into encouraging the channel. Liking this video is going to make it go to the right sources. If you made it to this part, congratulations. It was a nice ride with you. So this is nice, and I'm gonna do the last one before I call it a day. I'm just gonna pick this up and select it here, put it at the back here. I want to see the difference, what the two of them would look like. Wow, I like this. This is nice. It's lovely. It's really, really nice and lovely. So, but I think it doesn't conform with the shadows on her face. So I think I need something that has less shadows and something that I'm sure would. This is not bad, but I'm not feeling it. I think I prefer the other one. So tell me which one you prefer. Just tell me which you think you prefer. But I'm going to just drop the both of them, and I know you definitely enjoyed the tutorial video. So this I'm Shongusa signing out. Don't forget to leave a like, don't forget to comment, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. And I'm on meet you in the next video. Don't forget to be creative. Bye bye.